Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to biology online classes. The chapter what we are discussing under CET NEET is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So we are in the first worksheet in which we have discussed around 40 questions in the last two sessions. In today's sessions we will discuss another 20 set of questions. Okay, let me come to question number 41. Which of the following are the important floral rewards to animal pollinators? Pollination by animal is called as zoophily. So out of four options, which one is the reward for the animals? First one, color and large size of the flower. Second one, nectar and pollen grains. Third one, floral fragrance and calcium crystals. And fourth one, protein pellicle and stigmatic exudates. What is a protein pellicle? You can see in case of euglenoids. Phylum, it comes under Protista, kingdom Protista. So pellicle is a protective proteinaceous layer. Okay, that is not the reward. Stigmatic exudates, whatever the substances or the chemicals which are releases from the stigma. Okay, stigma is the receptacle. That is called as stigmatic exudates. That is not the right answer. Third option, just see, floral fragrance, smell, scent. Okay, that is not the reward, and the calcium crystals also not the reward. Color and large size of the flower, okay, these are all attracted specially to insects, but what reward they get is the option 2, nectar and pollen grains. Nectar and pollen grains is the reward what they are getting. So in the previous question, that is question number 40, we have discussed about honey. So honey is made by bees by digesting the pollen collected from the flowers. Not only pollen but also the nectars what they collect from the flowers. So for making honey they require what? Nectar and pollen grains. So that is the reward what the animals are getting as a result of animal pollination, animal pollinators. So right answer is option 2. Let's move to question number 42. Male gametophyte in angiosperms produces. Male gametophyte, that is the microsporangium. Inside that microsporangium is there. Inside the microsporangium pollen sacs are there. Inside the pollen sacs there are pollen grains. So the pollen grains are the male gametophyte. They produces what? Whether two sperms and one vegetative cell, or single sperm and one vegetative cell, or single sperm and two vegetative cell, or three sperms. Okay. Now male gametophyte, that is the pollen grain. In theory you have already studied the structure of a typical pollen grain, right? So recollect the structure what we have studied. So it is two sperms and a vegetative cell. Two sperms, because there are two male gametes. One of the male gamete will go and fuse with the egg nucleus and produces the diploid zygote. Another male gamete will go and fuse with the diploid secondary nucleus and forms the triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which later develops into endosperm, and this endosperm give nourishment to the developing embryo. So there are definitely two sperms as well as there is a vegetative cell. Okay. So it consists of two generative nuclei or the two generative cells and a single or one vegetative nucleus or the vegetative cell. So most of the pollen grains, when they shed, they are either at the 2 cell stage or maybe at the 3 cell stage. Let's move to question number 43. The 2000-year-old seed excavated from King Herod's palace at Dead Sea, it belongs to, okay, it belongs to which seed it is? Seed from which plant? Options are option 1, Dendrocalamus strictus, option 2, Lupine articus, option 3, Phoenix dactylifera, option 4, Strobilanthes kunthiana. Okay, recollect what we studied. We have studied about Phoenix dactylifera. So this Phoenix dactylifera, the evolutionary trend can be traced by paleontological records of the different fossils. Paleontology means the study of different fossils. So during the excavation at the site of Herod's, the King Herod's palace, the great palace in Israel, in the earlier 1960s, so this excavated was made in the earlier 1960s. Now archaeologists at that time, they have unearthed a small stockpile of seeds, okay, which are stored in a clay jar dating back 2000 years. Then in 2005, botanical research, the botanical research Alain Soloway, a researcher Alain Soloway, botanical researcher, note down the spelling Elaine Soloway, Solowey, Alain Soloway. He is a botanical researcher, decided to plant one, and today the tree continues to grow and they thrive well, and this tree is the Phoenix dactylifera. Phoenix dactylifera. It is the scientific name or the botanical name, and the common name is date palm. Common name is the date palm. So in the year 2005, botanical researcher Alain Soloway, he decided to plant this particular plant, and today the tree continues to grow and thrive, and this is the date palm. Now there is another option, just see option 2, Lupine articus, Lupine, Lupine articus, Articus, Lupine articus. So it is a flowering plant in the legume family. For which family the legumes belongs to? They belongs to family Fabaceae. So lupine, it is an ornamental plant which belongs to the family Fabaceae. So that cannot be the option. Next, Dendrocalamus. Note down spelling. Dendrocalamus. Dendro, D-N-D-R-O. Calamus, C-A-L-M-C-A-L-A-M-U-S. Then the species name is Strictus. Strictus. So what is this Dendrocalamus strictus? It is a species of bamboo, Bidirina species, bamboo species. That is not the option. Then just see Strobilanthes kunthiana. Strobilanthes Kuntiana. What is the common name? Neelkuranji. Common name is the Neelkuranji, or simply one can call it as Kurinji. So it is a shrub which is mainly found in the Shola forest. Where do you find? In the Shola forest. So mainly in the region of Western Ghats. Okay, Nilgiri hills, we call them as Blue Mountains. So they got the name from these blue mountains, Neelkuranji. Okay, and they also get the name from the purplish blue flowers. If you see the color of the flower, it is very beautiful purplish blue. So also it is called as the Neelkuranji. So that blossoms once in 12 years. These flowers blossoms once in 12 years. A very important question. So here, after 4 options, the right option is the Phoenix dactylifera, that is the date palm. Let's move to next question, number 44. Seeds without fertilization is obtained for polyembryony, 2 xenocarpy, 3 dormancy, 4 apomixis. Okay, seeds without fertilization, I have already explained about apomixis as well as the 4 different types of the apomixis. Which are those? Recurrent apomixis, second one non-recurrent apomixis, third one adventive embryony or nucellar embryony, and the fourth one is the vegetative apomixis or the bulbil. Correct? So this apomixis is the seeds without fertilization. Parthenocarpy means fruits which are produced without the fertilization, that is parthenocarpy. Dormancy means period of rest. Seeds during unfavorable conditions, they undergo a period of rest. When the conditions become favorable, they use the stored reserved food material within them and they start to germinate. Until they will not germinate, this is the state of rest called as the dormancy. Polyembryony means production of many embryos, formation of many embryos, that is called as polyembryony. So the right option is the option 4, apomixis. Let's move to the next question. Question number 45. Which one of the following statement is correct? There are 4 statements, out of which only the single one is correct. You have to identify the correct statement. First one, chasmogamous flowers never exhibit autogamy. Okay. Now, chasmogamous flowers means already they open, correct? If they are bisexual, then definitely they can have autogamy, they exhibit autogamy. Okay. So, it's not a right option. Let's see the next option. Chasmogamous flower always exhibit geitonogamy. No, they can also exhibit self-pollination, what you call as autogamy. Third option, clistogamous flowers exhibit both autogamy and geitonogamy. Clistogamous flowers, they never open, they are bisexual flowers. Always there is an autogamy or self-pollination, there is no chance of geitonogamy. Geitonogamy is found in unisexual flowers which are present on the same plant. That is also not a right option. Moving to the option 4, clistogamous flowers, they always exhibit autogamy. Definitely, this is the right answer. The flowers which are not at all open, those are the clistogamous flowers, they always bisexual in nature and they undergo self-pollination called autogamy. So option D is the right option. Okay, next, number 46. in a diathecous anther. Diathecous or also called as bi. Di means how many? 2. Bi andre how many? 2. Diathecous anther, each pollen sac contains. So how many pollen sacs are there in diathecous? 4 pollen sacs are there, correct? So the question is, each pollen sac contains 100 mmC. What is mmC? Microspore mother cells. ಒಂದೊಂದು pollen sacs ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 100 ಇದೆ. 100 mmC. So what is the total number of pollen grains produced by the anther? Now you have to tell me total number of anthers, total number of pollen grains produced by the anther. So the anther is here diathecous. So diathecous anther is the anther with 2 lobes. 2 anther lobes contain 4 pollen sacs in which the pollen grains are produced. So pollen grains are the male gametophyte. So these pollen grains develop from the diploid microspore mother cell. Okay. So within the pollen sacs of the anthers. So each mmC, that means microspore mother cell, divides to form 4 microspores. How many? 4 microspores, of which 3 will degenerate and 1 forms the pollen grain. Okay. So 2 anther lobes have 4 pollen sacs, each containing 4 microspore mother cell, and each microspore mother cell forming 1 pollen grain. So in one diathecous anther there are 4 pollen grains are formed. How many? 4 pollen grains are formed. So from 100 microspore mother cells we will get 4,000 pollen grains. We will get 4,000 pollen grains. So which option is 4,000 here? The option 2 is 4,000. Correct? 1,000 microspore mother cell, 1 microspore mother cell can give rise to 1 pollen grains. So 1,000 gives 1,000 pollen grains, but there are 4 pollen sacs. So 1,000 into 4, that means altogether 4,000 pollen grains. Got my point? So such type of questions are very important for CET and NEET. Numerical based problems. Let's move to question number 47. Coconut water. What is the scientific name of coconut? Cocos nucifera. You need to know the botanical names of some plants. Cocos nucifera. Coconut water, which is nothing but the liquid endosperm from the tender coconut, represents, yes, I already told the answer, that is formed from free nuclear endosperm. Free nuclear endosperm, that is the option D. So if you see the coconut water from the tender coconut, it represents the free nuclear, or you call it as liquid endosperm. So during the development of the nuclear type of endosperm, the primary endosperm, that is the primary endosperm mother cell, it divides with free nuclear divisions, and these divisions are not followed immediately by cell wall formation. So there will be many nuclei, no cell wall formation. That means it is free nuclear division. So thus the free nuclei remain in the cytoplasm within the embryo sac. Okay. So you will get the liquid endosperm, that is of the tender coconut. Okay. So option D is the right option. Free nuclear pro-embryo is not the right answer, because pro means before embryo formation now. Okay. Free nuclear division will not take place. During the embryo formation, this free nuclear endosperm will be formed because it has to give nourishment to the developing embryo. Then fleshy mesocarp. What is mesocarp? It is the middle layer of the fruit wall. Fruit wall has pericarp. Pericarp is divided into outer what? Epicarp. Middle mesocarp. Inner endocarp. So this mesocarp, that is fleshy in case of mango, Mangifera indica. Correct? Mango is an example for fruit which is drupe, where the outer epicarp, you cannot eat it, you have to throw it, sippe. Then the middle fleshy, that is the mesocarp, pulpy, and the inner garanto, that is the hard, that is the endocarp. Okay? Then that is the endocarp. So option 1 is the endocarp, that is also not right. So the right option is option 4, free nuclear endosperm. Let's move to question number 48. Which one of the following statement is not true? There are 4 options. Let's see. Let's analyze one by one. NEET 2016 phase 1 question it is. Tapetum. Tapetum, what is tapetum? It is the innermost layer of the microsporangium. Correct? That is the nourishment, that gives the nourishment, isn't it? So tapetum helps in dehiscence of the anther. No, tapetum gives nourishment to the developing pollen grains. Nourishment to the developing pollen grains. So dehiscence of anther, ಯಾವ layers help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? That is epidermis. Then comes the endothecium. Then comes the middle layers. These 3 layers which helps for dehiscence of anther, and tapetum helps for the nourishment of the pollen grains. So that is not the true answer. Second one, exine of pollen grains made up of sporopollenin. Exine is of the pollen grain. Exine and the outermost layer of the pollen grain is called as exine, and the innermost layer is called as the intine. Yes, this exine is of the pollen grain made up of an organic compound called as sporopollenin. Because of the presence of this sporopollenin, the pollen grains can withstand very high temperatures as well as against strong acids as well as alkalis. So the pollen grains can be preserved for very long time during the fossilization. That is the right answer. So option 1 is not true. Correct? You got the answer? Option 1 is not true. Option 2 is the correct answer. Option 3 says pollen grains of many species causes severe allergies. Correct. Pollen allergies are very common, especially during the season, winter season, where the pollen grains or after the winter season, that during the spring season, the pollen grains produce in enormous amount and they causes bronchial affiliations, bronchial allergies. Then option 4, stored pollen in the liquid. Okay, we can be used. That should be liquid nitrogen. The word nitrogen is missing. You have to add nitrogen. Stored pollen in liquid nitrogen can be used in the crop breeding program. Yes, it can be preserved in liquid nitrogen under minus 196 degrees Celsius, and it can be used for crop breeding. So the right answer is option 1. So that is the identified answer, the statement which is not true. Okay, so students completed up to questions 48, and the rest of the questions I'll take in the next session. So take down all the important points what I have written on the board, and also take down my lecture notes. Thank you for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.